Welcome back, everybody. Welcome. Come on down. Give me a quick second so we can get started. As promised, I apologize for the late stream, but most of you will be able to still log on to the Discord and will be able to participate and use this module for your finals. So I didn't want to shut down without spending this time with y'all. I was doing my little hip hop thing, so I was online skimming through a few things. I made a few comments that were necessary for hip hop, and now we're going to move on with uh, with today's exam. So I'd like for all of you to go back to the modules. Official test start time 2 minutes. So I'll allow you guys some time to get up in here. And we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday, which the main focus is big data, but we're going to continue. We're going to start with business intelligence. We're going to go predictive analytics. We're going to do data mining, and we'll finish with business performance um, management. Let me just double check, make sure that we have it. Put everything on engineering, large, wide, and dark. Okay. You guys have time? Okay. Let's see what else. Um, Actually, let's do benchmarking as well. Let's see if we can um, get that in as well. So that way we could spawn everything from business intelligence. So, as you know, 5 pages, 5 paragraphs, 5 sentences each, 5 words minimum per sentence, 5 computer spaces in between, 5 revisions, show the work. I don't care if it's chicken scratch. I don't care if you typed it in a typewriter and then you pass it on the computer. If you show the work, you'll get credit for it. If you don't show the work, I'm going to assume you use intelligence and technology. You're allowed to use your hyperscientific calculator. You're allowed to use Siri, Sarah, Alexa, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot. Any artificial intelligence is okay to assist, but you must show the work and you must let me know what tool you're actually using. If not, then you're not going to get any credit. So I will be able to decipher what was done by human input and what was done by computational input if I have the source code. And if you don't provide that, then once again, I'm going to assume that you didn't do the work. So without further ado, official test start. Give me one quick second. Let us continue. Okay, let us continue with history for business intelligence. Okay, so here we go. The earliest known use of the term business intelligence is in Richard Miller Devon's Cyclopedia of Commercial and Business Anecdotes, published 1865. Devons used the term to describe how the banker Sir Henry Furness gained profit by receiving and acting upon information about his environment prior to his competitors. Throughout Holland, Flanders, France, and Germany, he maintained a complete and perfect train of business intelligence. The news of the many battles fought was thus received first by him, and the fall of Namur added to his profits, owing to his early receipt of the news. Devon's page 210. That will be on your finals. Anybody that needs extra credit, that's what we're going to do. Give me one quick second. Where did I put my other platform? Before we go into definition, please open up your Baja apps, go to Google News, go to technology, and give me one quick second. Um, let's pick the article we're going to do for today. We're going to do futurism.com. Let's go to Baja app, log on to news. Let's see what's going on in the crypto world. No updates since yesterday. So US Senate passes landmark stablecoin was the last module that we did. And you see today, nope, this is older. Okay. We'll go to tech news and we'll pick up there. So we'll start with Reddit and we'll kind of build from there. All right. So here we go. And again, this will be in your finals, extra credit. Devon's page 210. I could give you guys all the answers. I can do the homework for you. I can make you do your work. All I can do is try to be a guide and an inspiration. The ability to collect and react accordingly based on the information received, Devon says, is central to business intelligence. When Hans-Peter Lund, a researcher at IBM, used the term business intelligence in an article published in 1958, he employed the Webster's Dictionary definition of intelligence, the ability to apprehend the interrelationships of presented facts in such a way as to guide action towards a desired goal. In 1989, Howard Dresner, later Gardner Analysis, proposed business intelligence as an umbrella term to describe concepts and methods to improve business decision making by using fact based support systems. It was not until the late 1990s that this usage was widespread. So we're going to take a pause right there because um, we're going to dive into hypernymy and hyponymy. Okay. So we'll take a quick pause there and we'll be able to go back. So, very quickly, let's check out what has been the financial data points for the day. And we'll start with Reddit. Reddit may adopt Altman's Iris tech for user ID checks. Reddit is in talks with Tools for Humanity, the company behind Sam Altman's World ID, to potentially use its iris scanning orb to verify users on the platform. Semaphore reported on Friday, citing two sources. According to the report, the deal would allow Reddit to verify users' identities while maintaining their anonymity on the platform. The report comes after Reddit co founder and CEO Steve Huffman said last month that AI and age verification laws would eventually force the company to check whether its users are human and of a certain age. We will do our best to preserve both the humanness and anonymity of Reddit, he said at the same time. United States may revoke chip tech waivers for China. Ahead of the unit in charge of export controls at the United States Commerce Department, Jeffrey Kessler told top semiconductor makers Samsung Electronics SK Hynix, and Taiwan's TSMC. He wants to revoke waivers allowing them to use United States technology in China. The Wall Street Journal reported on Friday. At present, these companies enjoy blanket waivers to ship United States chip making equipment to Chinese plants without a license. The move, part of the Trump administration's push to tighten controls on sensitive technology, could hurt relations with trade partners. White House officials say the measure is not a new escalation, but aims to mirror China's licensing rules on rare earth materials. The report comes just weeks after a still not clear trade agreement between the United States and China was reached in London, with both sides agreeing to pause new restrictions. Samsung EL Forward 25 GDRS NVPF stands in the green. The green range is 0.13%, $756 per share. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing stands in the red 1.87%, $209.51. Meta, Essilor Luxica unveil AI glasses for athletes. Meta and Essilor Luxottica are launching a new line of smart glasses called Oakley Meta, designed for athletes and sports fans, the former said in a press release on Friday. The glasses combine Meta's AI tools with Oakley's high performance lenses and sporty style. This marks the second release in their partnership after the launch of Ray-Ban Meta. The new glasses, Oakley Meta HSTN, feature a clearer 3K video, open ear speakers, longer battery life, and lens options that improve color and focus. The goal is to create wearable tech that helps people stay connected, perform better, and enjoy daily life, whether they are training, playing, or relaxing. This marks a bold new chapter in our wearables journey, with Oakley's iconic design legacy and Meta's breakthroughs in AI and spatial computing. We're setting a new standard for the industry. Essilor Luxottica's chief wearables officer Rocco Basilico noted. Exor Luxottica stands in the green 0.21%, $240.08. Meta Platform stands in the red 1.93%, $682.35 a share. Putin. Russia must embrace tech development. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Friday that his country must fully embrace technological developments if it wants to be stronger, as that is not just a wish, but a requirement in the world of today and tomorrow. In an address at the St. Petersburg's International Economic Forum, SPIEF, Putin insisted the Russian economy should be more technological and that by 2023, the aggregate spending on research and development (R&D) should account for at least 2% of its gross domestic product. This has to be a typo because I doubt that they meant to write that. So we're assuming 2026. Uber expands AI platform to 30 countries. Uber Technologies Incorporated announced on Friday that it is expanding its artificial intelligence data services platforms, Uber AI Solutions, to assist AI labs and businesses in 30 countries. The company stated the expansion will include a new data foundry that provides both ready to use and custom collected datasets, including audio, video, image, and text, designed to train large AI models while ensuring privacy and compliance. The platform will also offer tools and data to train smart AI agents, such as realistic task flows, high quality annotations, simulations, and multilingual support to help AI systems navigate real world business processes. We're bringing together Uber's platform, people, and AI systems to help other organizations build smarter AI more quickly. Head of Uber AI Solutions, Megha Yethatka, said, with today's updates, we're scaling our platform globally to meet the growing demand for reliable real world AI data, she added. Uber Technologies Incorporated stand in the Green Ranger 0.41%, 83.78, $83.78 a share. Turkey opens antitrust probe into Google. The Turkish Competition Authority announced on Friday that it had integrated a new investigation into Google over its exploitative practices aimed at advertisers. The Turkish competition watchdog's investigation should determine whether Google violated the country's law on the protection of competition by transferring its power in online search advertising services to other online advertising services via Performance Max PMAX campaign, which is a type of campaign in Google Ads. By engaging in exploitative practices against advertisers who use PMAX campaign and by distorting competition in the market through combining the data coming from different channels. The initial investigation revealed the lack of transparency and control in Google's advertising practices, the watchdog noted. Alphabet A stands in the red 3.85%, $166.64 a share. Now, why is this important to us? In real time, let's talk about a real world example. Everything that we're going to be exploring in today's modules have everything to do with that. The reason why we go across all of this financial data is because as entrepreneurs, we're looking for new opportunities. And where are we going to find them? In the World Economic Forum. So, for example, when you're talking about everything dealing with social media, it is PMAX. It's a Performance Max campaign, which is a type of campaign you find in Google. So, why is it important? Because every extension of Google has embraced it and every competitor has embraced it. Therefore, in this particular case, Turkey as a country is opening an anti monopoly, antitrust probe into what Google is doing. What does that let us know? What is relevant in the industry as far as this technology, how the system really fucking works. And pardon me saying that because for artists, you would not believe how hard it is to get this through for artists to understand this. Now, as an entrepreneur, would Turkey be the best place to invest in that technology? Absolutely not. So, what do? I'm an artist. Let's say I wanted to promote a market in Turkey. Now, I got to find different ways, guerrilla warfare, to be able to do marketing and promotion without the PMAX system. And if it's banned in Turkey, how many other countries can it be banned in? How does that correlate to any business, product, service, industry, or trade that I'm trying to penetrate? How will it affect your investments? This is the difference between the people that become uber successful. Here we go. Let me see this. Okay, let's finish with this, even though we went over it yesterday. And then we'll do a review of the other articles. Google uses YouTube videos to train artificial intelligence. Google LLC is using some of the 20 billion videos on YouTube to train its artificial intelligence tools. So, for my students, if you're able to construct these AI tools, you have an opportunity to make millions of dollars. CNBC reported on Thursday, citing company statements and a person familiar with the matter. These videos help improve models like Gemini and VO3, which create videos and sounds. While Google confirmed to the media that it uses a part of its YouTube library for AI training. A YouTube spokesperson said that the company has always used YouTube content to improve its tools and continues to do so in the AI era, respecting agreements with video creators and media companies, and adding that it cares about protecting their image and likeness in the AI era. However, experts warn that using videos this way could cause problems over ownership and copyright. YouTube did not say how many or which videos are used, but even training with just 1% of the library would include over 2 billion minutes of video. Alphabet C, once again, stands in the red 3.59%, $167.73 a share, while Alphabet A stands in the red 3.85% at $166.64. So this is very revealing because even when you look at the Hopper system, when you look at all brand new NVIDIA systems, they're all based on tokens. What are really tokens? Tokens are NFTs of data. That's all they are. If you don't understand the technology, then you can't be in this business. It would be a whole different world if I was approached and they said, "Yo, you a rapper, you a singer, right? You're an artist, you're a celebrity, you're a model, you're a actor, you're this, you're that." Okay, that puts you into that world. But if they approach you and they say you're an entrepreneur, you own a technology company, now you're playing in a different realm. Let's say I was a filmmaker. Let's say I wrote computer code. Let's say I designed the next video game. If you approach business from a technology standpoint, you're always going to come in at an advantage. Versus if you say, well, I'm a writer and I write poetry and I don't write books and I don't do this and I don't do that, when everything stems from literature, correct? So, why would it be important for us to worry about companies like TSMC and Sky Hynix and Samsung Electronics with everything that's happening in Taiwan with China? Why is that important? Because we are in technology. The same way that Coinbase has just developed this payment system, right? Why would that be relevant? Why is it relevant that Kraken has all this uh, digital payment system? The same thing that Coinbase just implemented. The same technology, you see it on Reddit with user verification for age, but still keeping everything anonymous. How can you do that? Blockchain technology. That's the future. That's everything we're going to cover today. This is in real time. This is really happening in the world. Why was it important when Tron is going for IPO? Guess whose catalog as an artist is compatible with Tron from day one? That would be me, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know what this means for me? This is a home run for my company. If I was just doing music, if I was not in technology, then this wouldn't be relevant to me. Why is it important? Because this is all the same technology expressed in different ways. So, without further ado, because we need to get to the module, I just wanted to kind of highlight that so we can segue into our next segment. So, let us continue. Hypernymy and hyponymy. Hypernymy and hyponymy are the semantic relations between a generic term, hypernym, and a more specific term, hypernym. The hypernym is also called a supertype, umbrella term, or blanket term. The hyponymy names a subtype of the hypernym. The semantic field of the hypernym is included within that of the hypernym. For example, pigeon, crow, hen are all hyponyms of bird and animal. Bird and animal are both hypernyms of pigeon, crow, and hen. So, system within a system, radarplex, one correlates the other. In aircraft such as a F-14 Tomcat, you have your pilot and then you have your missileer as your co-pilot. A core concept of hyponym is type of, whereas distance, instance of its differentiable. For example, the noun city, a hyponym naming a type of city, is capital city or capital, whereas Paris and London are instances of a city, not types of cities. Discussion. In linguistics, semantics, general semantics, and ontologies, hyponymy from ancient Greek uto, upo, under, and ovoa, onuma, name, shows the relationship between a generic term, hypernym, and a specific instance of it, hyponym. A hyponym is a word or phrase whose semantic field is more specific than its hypernym. The semantic field of a hypernym, also known as a superordinate, is broader than that of a hyponym. An approach to the relationship between hyponyms and hypernyms is to view a hypernym as consisting of hyponyms. This, however, becomes more difficult with abstract words such as imagine, understand, and knowledge. While hyponyms are typically used to refer to nouns, it can also be used on other parts of speech. Like nouns, hypernyms in verbs are words that refer to a broad category of actions. For example, verbs such as stare, gaze, view, and peer can also be considered hyponyms of the verb look, which is their hypernym. The meaning relation between hyponyms and hypernyms applies to lexical items of the same word class that is part of speech and holds between senses rather than words. For instance, the word screwdriver, as most immediately understood, refers to the screwdriver tool and not to the screwdriver drink. Hypernymy and hyponymy are converse relations. If X is a kind of Y, then X is a hyponym of Y, and Y is a hypernym of X. Hyponymy is a transitive relation. If X is a hyponym of Y and Y is a hyponym of Z, then X is a hyponym of Z. For example, violet is a hyponym of purple, and purple is a hypernym of color. Therefore, violet is a hyponym of color. A word can be both a hyponym and a hypernym. For example, purple is a hyponym of color, but itself is a hypernym of the broad spectrum of shades of purple between the range of crimson and violet. The hierarchical structure of semantic fields can be seen in hyponymy. These can be conceptualized as a vertical arrangement, while the higher level is more general and the lower level is more specific. For example, living things will be the highest level, followed by plants and animals, and the lowest level may comprise dog, cat, and wolf. So we'll go back to taxonomy and we can continue. Predictive analytics. Chapter 3. Predictive analytics encompasses a variety of statistical techniques from data mining, predictive modeling, and machine learning that analyze the current and historical facts to make predictions about future or otherwise unknown events. In business, predictive models exploit patterns found in historical and transactional data to identify risks and opportunities. Models capture relationships among many factors to allow assessment of risk or potential associated with a particular set of conditions, guiding decision making for candidate transactions. The defining functional effect of these technical approaches is that predictive analytics provides a predictive score probability for each individual customer, employee, healthcare patient, product SKU, vehicle component, machine, or other organizational unit in order to determine, inform, or influence organizational processes that pertain across large numbers of individuals, such as in marketing, credit risk assessment, fraud detection, manufacturing, healthcare, and government operations, including law enforcement. I want us to go back to machine learning. We're going to put that module last. Let's continue with data mining. Data mining, chapter 4, is the process of extracting and finding patterns in massive data sets involving methods at the intersection of machine learning, statistics, and database systems. Data mining is an interdisciplinary subfield of computer science and statistics with an overall goal of extracting information with intelligent methods from a data set and transforming the information into a comprehensible structure for further use. Data mining is the analysis step of the knowledge discovery in databases, process, or KDD. Aside from the raw analysis step, it also involves database and data management aspects, data pre processing, model and interference considerations, interestingness metrics, complexity considerations, post processing of discovered structures, visualization, and online updating. The term data mining is a misnomer because the goal is the extraction of patterns and knowledge from large amounts of data, not the extraction, mining of data itself. It's also a buzzword and is frequently applied to any form of large scale data or information processing, collection, extraction, warehousing, analysis, and statistics, as well as any application of computer decision support systems, including artificial intelligence, e.g., machine learning, and business intelligence. Often the more general terms large scale data analysis and analytics, or when referring to actual methods, artificial intelligence and machine learning are more appropriate. So you guys can see how this technology expands. Hypernym, hypernym. It's like the same thing. It all deals with the same nature of all of these elements. Now, what do you need to do? Master all these technologies, design your own new products, services for different industries or trades. This is where the future of commerce is. This is where the future of business is, the future of technology, the future of everything deals with this technology. The closer you are to the forefront, the bigger your success is. In technology, there's no such thing as second place. Let us continue. The actual data mining task is the semi automatic or automatic analysis of massive quantities of data to extract previously unknown, interesting patterns such as groups of data records, cluster analysis, unusual records, anomaly detection, and dependencies, association rule mining, sequential pattern mining. This usually involves using database techniques such as spatial indices. These patterns can then be seen as a kind of summary of the input data and may be used in further analysis or, for example, in machine learning and predictive analytics. For example, the data mining step might identify multiple groups in the data, which can then be used to obtain more accurate prediction results by a decision support system. Neither the data collection, data preparation, nor result interpretation and reporting is part of the data mining step, although they do belong to the overall KDD process as additional steps. The difference between data analysis and data mining is that data analysis is used to test models and hypotheses on the data set, e.g., analyzing the effectiveness of a marketing campaign, regardless of the amount of data. In contrast, data mining uses machine learning and statistical models to uncover clandestine or hidden patterns in a large volume of data. The related terms data dredging, data fishing, and data snooping refer to the use of data mining methods to sample parts of a larger population data set that are or may be too small for reliable statistical inferences to be made about the validity of any patterns discovered. These methods can, however, be used in creating new hypotheses to test against the larger data populations. Etymology. In the 1960s, statisticians and economists use terms like data fishing or data dredging to refer to what they considered the bad practice of analyzing data without an a priori hypothesis. The term data mining was used in a similarly critical way by economist Michael Lovell in an article published in the Review of Economic Studies in 1983. Lovell indicates that the practice masquerades under a variety of aliases, ranging from experimentation positive to fishing or snooping negative. The term data mining appeared around 1990 in the database community, with generally positive connotations, for a short time in the 1980s. The phrase database mining was used, but once it was trademarked by HNC, a San Diego based company, to pitch their database mining workstation. Researchers consequently turned to data mining. Other terms used included data archaeology, information harvesting, information discovery, knowledge extraction, etc. Gregory Piatetsky Shapiro coined the term knowledge discovery in databases for the first workshop on the same topic, KDD, in 1989. And this term became more popular in the AI and machine learning communities. However, the term data mining became more popular in the business and press communities. Currently, the term data mining and knowledge discovery are used interchangeably. Chapter 5: Business Performance Management. Business Performance Management, BPM, also known as Corporate Performance Management, CPM, Enterprise Performance Management, EPM, is a management approach which encompasses a set of processes and analytical tools to ensure that a business organization's activities and output are aligned with its goals. BPM is associated with business process management, a larger framework managing organizational processes. It aims to measure and optimize the overall performance of an organization, specific departments, individual employees, or processes to manage particular tasks. Performance standards are set by senior leadership and task owners, which may include expectations for job duties, timely feedback and coaching, evaluating employee performance and behavior against desired outcomes, and implementing reward systems. BPM can involve outlining the role of each individual in an organization in terms of functions and responsibilities. Benchmarking, Chapter 6. Benchmarking is the practice of comparing business processes and performance metrics to industry best and best practices from other companies. Dimensions typically measured are quality, time, and cost. Benchmarking is used to measure performance using a specific indicator: cost per unit of measure, productivity per unit of measure, cycle time of X per unit or measure, or defects per unit of measure, resulting in a metric of performance that is then compared to others. Also referred to as best practice benchmarking or process benchmarking. This process is used in management, in which organizations evaluate various aspects of their processes in relation to best practice companies' processes, usually within a peer group defined for the purpose of comparison. This then allows organizations to develop plans on how to make improvements or adapt specific best practices, usually with the aim of increasing some aspects of performance. Benchmarking may be a one off event, but is often treated as a continuous process in which organizations continually seek to improve their practices. In project management, benchmarking can also support the selection, planning, and delivery of projects. In the process of best practice benchmarking, management identifies the best firms in their industry or in another industry where similar processes exist and compares the results and processes of those studied, the targets, to one's own results and processes. In this way, they learn how well the targets perform and, more importantly, the business processes that explain why these firms are successful. According to National Council on Measurement in Education, benchmark assessments are short assessments used by teachers at various times throughout the school year to monitor student progress in some area of the school curriculum. These also are known as interim government. In 1994, one of the first technical journals named Benchmarking was published. And now, the moment you have all been waiting for, machine learning. This is where the trillions are. Let's go. Machine learning, ML, is a field of study in artificial intelligence concerned with the development and study of statistical algorithms that can learn from data and generalize to unseen data and thus perform tasks without explicit instructions. Within a subdiscipline in machine learning, advances in the field of deep learning have allowed neural networks, a class of statistical algorithms, to surpass many previous machine learning approaches in performance. So, we're talking about different fields of study: artificial intelligence, statistical algorithms, data, generalizing tasks, explicit versus regular tasks. Explicit means with computer coding instructions, meaning autonomous, right? Neural networks, the same way they work in the brain is the exact same way that they work on the internet, hardware, software, everything dealing with all types of electronics. Machine learning finds applications in many fields, including natural language processing. Everything is voice activated, right? Computer vision. Radarplex systems works with computer vision. Speech recognition, which is the same thing as natural language processing. Email filtering, agriculture, and medicine. The application of machine learning to business problems is known as predictive analytics. Statistics and mathematical optimization, mathematical programming, same thing. Hypernym. Methods comprise the foundations of machine learning. Data mining is related, a related field of study focusing on exploratory data analysis, EDA, via unsupervised learning. Think about the Waymos, how while they're in prototype phase, they have to have a physical driver until they have enough data sets or data points to be able to drive autonomously. So every state, every country that they go through, they have to apply for a permit to put the prototypes out onto the streets. Before, you have an engineer like myself behind the wheel of these type of vehicles. Now, more and more and in more cities, depending on the mileage, they have more tokens of data. These data points are like NFTs. For example, when you compare Tesla to Waymo, what's the big debate? Well, the Waymo starts at 80,000 plus another 80,000 to put the technology into it. Now, where's the incentive? Constructing the vehicle with the technology on it so that you can have those savings versus Tesla. Tesla already builds the cars. They already integrate the technology. So where Waymo may have several hundred millions of miles of data points and tokens, Tesla has billions of miles. And that's where the idea from Robotaxi comes into play. Statistics and mathematical optimization, mathematical programming methods comprise the foundation of machine learning. Data mining is related field of study focusing on exploratory data analysis, EDA, via unsupervised learning. From a theoretical viewpoint, probably approximately correct learning provides a framework for describing machine learning. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is all the time that we have, but I'm not going to leave you guys without giving you a little bit of theory. So, notice how all of these technologies work together. Look at the business move with Meta. Meta is not at the forefront of digital payments, but they tried to. They tried to be. This is why you have Kraken on the rise, you have Circle on the rise, you have Coinbase on the rise, you have all these other platforms going into digital payments. You have Shake Shack accepting Bitcoin, and these are just small examples in the last few days. All the same technology. You have Apple falling behind with Siri, but then you have the advancement of a Chat GPT, Gemini, Copilot, Alexa. all of these technological marvels deal with the same type of technology. The execution is the difference between success and failure. So essentially, that is what's happening. So why is everything artificial intelligence? Because everything is data mining, it's data sets and data points. If you don't understand how those things impact business, you're not going to be able to survive in the future of what business is, because this is the wave and this is the direction that everything is going in. You have the president of the United States with his own NFTs and his own altcoins and all kinds of stuff. So if you're in the financial business industry, what direction should you be going in? Why is that important? Because all you need to do is design products and services in different industries of trade, incorporating this technology, and you have the future laid out for you. That's all the time we got. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. We'll pick up right where we left off. God bless everybody. Thank you for tuning in. You already know you have the best teacher in the world.